Take roll, please.
Miss Wendy Keener. Mr. Richard Wilhauer.
Here.
Mr. Clint Russell.
Here.
Dr. Jason Cook.
Here. We stand for the flag salute. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please bow your heads. Lord, we humbly come to you today to ask your blessing on this meeting. Help us make the right decisions for our community and our school. In your name we pray, amen.
Amen.
Consent agenda, items A through I being approval of regular board minutes dated June the 6th, approval of purchase orders for General Fund 11, approval of purchase orders 1 through 113 for the Activity Fund, approval of purchase orders for the Building Fund, approval of purchase orders for the Bond Fund, travel expenses, fundraisers, change orders, and Activity Fund report.
You got anything, Jason?
No, sir.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second?
Okay, voting is now open. Mr. Richard Wilhauer.
Yes.
Mr. Clint Russell.
Yes.
Dr. Jason Cook.
Yes.
Okay, item 5, the report and revenue collections and expenditures.
There's going to be less on revenue collection expenditure, just kind of an overall where we're at this part of the summer. We ran the main numbers, and we had that at the June 6th meeting. Obviously, our books are really close to finishing up for the month, but not quite ready. To the point of 2 nights ago, we got our Red Bud allocation. Our second part, if you'll remember, we got our first part in February. There's been all kinds of talk over the last 3 or 4 years of how that's supposed to be distributed. That is the fund that is offset, which really benefits us for a school that doesn't have a lot of ad valorem. It kind of equalizes the building fund. And so our 2 allocations are normally bigger than most. And so we got 155,000 remittance 2 nights ago, along with our maternity pay that state law went into effect and allows teachers to get paid, and we have to pay that up front and then we get reimbursed. And so we got the Red Bud fund and the maternity pay, collected that this week. But as far as, and you know, we've made all our summer payments, so we're good on that part. Again, not much has changed, but just a little bit of a summer in a nutshell. The T-Mobile stuff is really starting to move quickly. Part of that was with the Gronkowski Foundation has come in and did some stuff with the floor in the weight room. And I don't think Coach Jones and Coach Amos are here. There are several people that I know, Miss Ellis and Coach Thomas, Coach Mullen, and several were here when it got delivered. But if we were able to install it ourselves, we were able to save quite a bit of money. But Coach Amos and Coach Jones really went above and beyond. The floor is laid, so we've replaced basically the Atwood barn mats with weight room flooring, and so that was part of it. Coach Thomas and I met with the turf people. Had our first logistics meeting 2 days ago. That's getting ready to really get fired up and started. They need about 1 good week of weather to peel off the old turf and 1 good week of weather to put down the turf. And so that's coming quick. We actually have a logistics meeting with the video board at 1:30 today. And so those are the 2 projects that we've already got going. The LED lighting, which we're super excited for, not only the light itself, but the savings that potentially could bring to us. We have a logistics meeting, our first one with that, early next week. In addition to those things, T-Mobile had required us we've got a mascot ordered, a new Longhorn, and the band bleachers have been ordered. And so the band will be able to have a section to give them more space and allow them to be able to play. And so we've got those things ordered. And now we're kind of pumping the brakes a little bit to see how much that's going to cost us, and before we go with our next project. We do feel like we still have some more money left over from that initial grant or reward, whatever you want to call it, to fully maximize the money, because anything that we don't is just kind of throwing away money. So going to look where we're at on that part. If you've been by the indoor from our previous bond, in the last 6 days has really taken off. We have the red iron up, it's erected, and it's going to start moving. We're about 6 weeks behind on that, but that was basically just all the rain from April through May has put us behind. But now I met with those guys Wednesday, and with the forecast, they think they can rock and roll. So we're getting ready to move a lot on that. We've had we've done some interviews with construction management teams, had some people from the community come in and be part of that. I appreciate their willingness to volunteer their time to talk to those people, should we choose to go back to a bond, and just really focusing on getting the community's involvement on that. The parking lot for the high school is still on the radar. Still think that's going to happen by the start of school. Again, we've got I think we've got a community member that's going to step up and help out with the funds on that, along with a lot of shout out to Ron Burrows and his crew with the county. Is going to do provide the equipment and the manpower, so we're super blessed for that. Talked last month or earlier this month at our previous meeting about the SRO, the ability to bring a second student resource officer on board, and with your blessing, city manager and I are going to have a conversation today and get that in place, and he's going to take that to his board Monday night. Gives us the ability to have a full-time school resource officer at both campuses all day, every day. And so one will be with the city, one will be at the county, so that just checks a lot of boxes. We're excited about that, and it's going to be, a lot of that's going to be funded through our SRO grant that the state has given us. Here in a few minutes, pending your approval for the hires that are listed, and I'll let the principals and staff introduce those guys, but should these guys all get approved, we will be 100% fully staffed, certified staffed in the end of June, which is a huge, big thing for us, and that's not many districts can say that across the state. And so for us to be fully certified staffed in June is something that we're super excited about and blessed to have. So with that, I think the rest of this stuff will come later. So any questions for me? So that's my report.
Moving along to principal's report. Who wants to go first? Is there anything to report?
I'll go first.
That's good.
Just going to introduce the people that I brought in hired today. Lindsay spoke. Lindsay is an Inola graduate, daughter of a teacher, married to a teacher, and we are recommending her to be our elementary librarian. So she's currently working on her certification. She did a lot of volunteering at the school this year. She worked under Miss Holbrook and at that high school, so has lots of experience and very invested in the community. So she brought some great ideas to the table, so we're super excited for what she's going to bring to the elementary for us. Becky Kessler is going to be one of our new elementary secretaries. Tons of experience at Kingfisher, Craig, Omega, TPS. So she has lots and lots of years of experience. I've worked with her in the past. She's phenomenal, so super excited to have her join us. Ms. Hochstetler has been part-time at the elementary. She's also going to move into a full-time position. We're pretty busy in that office, so pretty excited to have two people going full-time. Allie Bynum is going to join us on board as a full-time paraprofessional at the elementary. And Susan Havens is going to move from a teacher into a paraprofessional role as a reading interventionist. So super excited. We've got some other teachers that were part-time last year that are moving into full-time, back into full-time roles. But lots of stuff going on at the elementary, but we are going to be fully staffed today. So pretty excited about that.
I know last time we met, we had one that I needed to hire. Well, some things have changed
had one go back to elementary, so now I had two. So I got at least one of those is here today. Mr. Switzer will be a fifth grade teacher. He was a long-term sub for us last year for 6 weeks, I think, from Miss Forster. Really wants to be here, really, he'll be a good fit for us in the fifth grade. And then Valerie Briggs is coming back. You guys may recall her. She was at the elementary and had to leave. But she is back. She's also going to be in fifth grade too, as a reading teacher for, she's got a reading specialist degree, so I think that'll be beneficial for us.
So we had 2 hires for the high school. They were kind of a combo. Colby Crane for band. That's going to be really exciting. He's one of our former kids. He and Brendan went to high school together, so that should be fun. And also Deb Marcotte retired, and I'm having her just half part-time. She's going to be a part-time world history for me. So it'll be good.
To offset a full-time, so we're
Yeah.
actually ahead of the game on that.
No kids, no problems. Today's the last day. We start dead period tomorrow. Summer pride's been really good. We went to 2 sessions, a morning and an evening. I believe we're averaging high school wise about 20 in the morning, but we're averaging about 35 in the evening. Junior high, we've had anywhere from 15 to 40 kids, depending on church camp and all the other things going on. We did hire, or will hire today, hopefully, Mark Hill. He worked me at Tulsa Rogers as an adjunct. I'm not a huge adjunct coach person. He's a good one. He's a soccer dude, really good, and actually him and Lacey play together in some leagues, so they know each other. He's a construction guy that takes off. He works really hard through the summer and early fall, and about November he'll be here, and probably be a full-time sub type person. He'll be here at 8 in the morning from about December on till school's out. He's a good one. We also, and we talked, and it's on the agenda, have some kids, Coach Amos should take some kids to Emporia for some camps. There was a discrepancy since we put it on. I don't know how to do it, if we did it wrong. It's down as the 18th, they've moved it to the day before. I don't know if that makes a difference. They moved it to the 17th. Just found that out a couple of days ago. Things are rolling. It's been good. Athletic wise, I know Swope's fixing to take his kids, he does every year if it's approved, to Branson after dead period. And then it's rolling, because the 15th, everybody, your fall sports other than football can start practicing, so.
Thank you. Citizens' comments? Agenda item 8 is discussion and possible vote to approve or disapprove appointing Kelly Capps as an Inola Public School Board member.
I make a motion to approve appointing Kelly Capps as an Inola Public School Board member.
Second.
Voting is now open. Mr. Richard Wilhauer,
Yes.
Mr. Clint Russell,
Yes.
Dr. Jason Cook.
Yes.
Kelly's not here.
Yes, she is.
Yep.
Oh, well, she's hiding. You're not in my line of sight.
So Mr. Wilhauer will give you your oath.
Around this way?
Congratulations.
Thanks.
I think you've got to raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Kelly Capps,
I, Kelly Kappas,
hereby declare under oath
hereby declare under oath
that I will faithfully perform
that I will faithfully perform
the duties of school board member of Inola Public Schools
the duties of school board member of Inola Public Schools
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
and that I will faithfully discharge all of the duties
and I will faithfully discharge all of the duties
pertaining to said office and obey the Constitution and laws
pertaining to said office and obey the Constitution of said laws
of the United States of Oklahoma. Oh, this says Oklahoma, but it should be
United
state
States
of-
and Oklahoma.
of the United States and Oklahoma.
and Oklahoma.
Of the United States and Oklahoma.
Sorry.
That's right.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
So Kelly, from this point forward, you are officially, you can partake in any of the votes. If anything, you feel free to abstain if you're not ready to make a vote. We couldn't give you the agenda to give you prior information, but if you want to partake in a vote, you can, or you can abstain as well.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, agenda item 9, discussion and vote to approve or disapprove OSIG/OSAG insurance renewal for school year 25-26.
Tucson is here with Tedford Insurance. You guys had the attachments. We've talked about this several times. We don't really select. OSIG's kind of the one that we select. The workers' comp part was OSAG and CompSource. We were able to save some money, but the proposal's in there. It's obviously something that none of us like to talk about, and I'll even say with an insurance guy in here, it sucks. It's a heavy price, but it's the price of it. So, Tucson, do you have anything before they?
The total package is down. The OSIG package is down $30,000, which is nice because we also added a $4 million umbrella. So it would give the school on any intentional acts, it would give us $5 million in coverage per occurrence. So that was the big outstanding thing. And so they kind of gave it as a reduced cost with, they didn't appraise the school or assess any higher values, which is nice because they don't do it every year. So it's about an 8% decrease on the OSIG, and then with the workman's comp, it went up 13,000. So really the actual savings is 17,000, but that's just due to we had some incidents with teachers this year for claims. That's what's driving the number on the workman's comp. So.
And if you would talk a little bit about Vector and how, as a district, we were required to go through that.
Yes, as far as the abuse and molestation training, yeah, it was a mandated deal through OSAG that we had all our teachers complete that and sign up and go through that.
We had to have that done by March 1st, and we completed that, and otherwise there wasn't even an option of, so.
Yeah, and that was every school
Yeah.
that was under their purview, which I don't know any that aren't, so.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve agenda item number 9.
Second.
Okay, voting is now open. Mr. Richard Wilhauer,
Yes.
Mr. Clint Russell,
Yes.
Ms. Kelly Kappas,
Abstain.
Dr. Jason Cook.
Yes.
Item 10, discussion and vote to approve or disapprove COSA. Is that how you say that?
Yep.
District level services for school year 25-26.
That's our membership with COSA. It's also a different package where throughout the year we get a reduced rate, and we actually save more money by joining this service plan. Every meeting or seminar we go to or training is at a reduced rate for DLS schools, and so we've done this for several years, and I would suggest or ask to approve this.
That was a total cost of $1,800. Is that right?
Yep. It's based on your ADM. Yep.
Yeah. I'd make a motion to approve executing the contract with COSA for the next school year.
Seconded.
Okay, voting is now open. Mr. Richard Wilhauer.
Yes.
Mr. Clint Russell,
Yes.
Ms. Kelly Kappas,
Abstain.
Dr. Jason Cook.
Yes.
Item 11, discussion and vote to approve or disapprove transfer capacity numbers as follows. 4K 60, 5K through 9th 100, and 10th through 12th 110.
It's something we're going to have to review at least annually, and we can change it throughout the year. But since Oklahoma is now an open transfer state where students can transfer, not athletically or not, but academically can transfer to any school they want and become and be enrolled, they have that opportunity. But in turn, each school district has to set a capacity, and if you're below that capacity, the kid is automatically in. If you're above that capacity, the kid is not allowed to come in. And just based on our numbers, we have to take them. There are some requirements that the denial process, it does not allow a kid to be suspended from us and then say, well, then I'll transfer out. So they'll have to take me. Those things follow district to district, but it allows us to accept those kiddos, and we feel like we're basically adjusting the 10 through 12 because of the size that we're able to, class sizes. And so that is, again, we have to do this annually. You may see it throughout the year if we need to adjust it up or down, but this is what we're proposing to go into the school year with.
Make a motion to approve agenda item 11.
Second.
Voting is now open. Mr. Richard Wilhour,
Yes.
Mr. Clint Russell,
Yes.
Ms. Kelly Kappas,
Yes.
Dr. Jason Jones.
Yes.
Or Cook, sorry.
Item 12, discussion and vote to approve or disapprove the changing of the 25-26 school calendar due to House Bill 1087.
I'm gonna pass you this. This is the calendar that we approved a few months ago. House Bill 1087 had several things in it, and we'll get into how the law changed or is going to change this upcoming school year. But one thing that the state passed was the teacher salary schedule, and each district used to be capped off at 25. Some districts would go to 30, some would go to 35, and it was an individual. Well, for many years, we were at 35. About 4 years ago, we reduced that down to 25 and then brought in some incentive packages for 10, 15, 20 year of our faculty. Well, now they are requiring us to go to 35, which is not a bad thing, except for that money that we were using for that we spent on the front end. So that's a potential problem. But the reason for this is the other part of that law triggered a domino that said when the state gives $25 million in addition to the previous budget, it triggers an additional classroom day for every school district in the state. By adding years 26 through 35, that's going to cost the state somewhere around $25 million. So that triggers that additional that additional instructional day. So even though our calendar is set, and this is our calendar that you're looking at, we are required, just like every other school in the state, to add one more day. So basically, of all these things, we have to add a day. You have the option to add a virtual or traditional. My suggestion is, after talking to our leadership team, we would like to respectfully ask that we add either December 1st or December 8th, which is a Monday, to become a traditional day. Again, our second semester numbers, there's more days on the second semester, so that's why we're looking at the first semester. I know doctor's appointments may have already been scheduled early in the year, so to me, the December 1st or 8th, we were looking at the 1st for a couple reasons, but if we went just a traditional day on that Monday or whatever and again, that's just a suggestion. We just need to add one day to this calendar that we were out previous and put us in session either traditional or virtually.
Will there be any hiccups if you do the first, coming back, you're out for a full week for Thanksgiving, and you're coming back on a Monday? Is that?
I mean, there's hiccups to all of it, and that was my thought is if we're gonna be out, let's get back in as quick as we can, but, the 8th, and again, you can do any of these. We had talked about doing it right off the bat, getting them started, but then I didn't know that if you put this in now, we're talking about literally 6 weeks from now, and some people may have a doctor's appointment there. So, but no, there's no difference. 1st, 8th.
No conflict with any of your basketball schedules or
The
tournaments?
Jerry
or anything
O'Quinn
like that?
tournament is the 8th, is the week of the 8th. And that starts at 4 o'clock. It affects some of our workers, so that's kind of why we lean towards the 1st to stay away from the Jerry O'Quinn tournament. If it's indifferent, I mean, we're not making an academic decision based on the Jerry O'Quinn tournament, but if it's the 1st or the 8th and it's all things are equal, we would prefer
It's an evening anyway, so.
to.
Okay.
But like Mr. Wilhour said, it is coming back off of an extended full week of Thanksgiving break. So it's 6 one, half dozen the other. It's thoughts or throw it out there.
That's what I said, I can see.
What are you recommending?
December 1st.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make a motion, we add December 1st for a change in the 25-26 school calendar due to House Bill 1087.
Traditionally, correct?
Traditionally, yes.
Okay.
Second.
Voting is now open. Mr. Richard Wilhour,
Yes.
Mr. Clint Russell,
Yes.
Ms. Kelly Kappas,
Yes.
Dr. Jason Cook.
Yes.
Discussion and possible vote to approve or disapprove board policy FOB corporal punishment.
That is something that is kicked in as another new law, and it doesn't take the ability to, it focuses on who can and cannot. And I don't want to get into it. I mean, it's public, but I don't feel like it's fair to talk about. There's a group of students that are ineligible to have corporal punishment due to situations outside of their control. So this is a policy straight from the OSBA. I would recommend that we follow their policy, which follows state law.
Make a motion to approve agenda item 13.
Second.
Okay, voting is now open. Mr. Richard Wilhour,
Yes.
Mr. Clint Russell,
Yes.
Ms. Kelly Kappas,
Yes.
Dr. Jason Cook.
Yes.
Discussion and vote to approve or disapprove board policy FNG, wireless telecommunication devices.
This is kind of the chicken and the egg. We have to have a policy identifying wireless telecommunication devices because our next item is going to get into something different. But again, this is straight from the OSSBA, that each district identifies what their policy is for wireless devices to set up for the next one.
Make a motion to approve agenda item 14.
Second.
Voting is now open. Mr. Richard Wilhour,
Yes.
Mr. Clint Russell,
Yes.
Ms. Kelly Kappas,
Yes.
Dr. Jason Cook.
Yes.
Okay, discussion and possible vote to approve or disapprove violation policy and consequences for the use of personal electronic devices, phones, smartwatches, personal laptops, tablets, Bluetooth headphones, etc.
Now that we have our, we've identified what the devices are, state law requires us to adopt a bell-to-bell, no cell phone policy, and it is defined, the bell is the first bell of the day at 7:40 or 7:45 throughout the last bell of the day, 3:30 or whatever. That's what the state law says, and then it says that we have to adopt a policy. The policy that we propose is just based on the administration's proposal or recommendation that we follow. That's up to, subject to change. That part is discretionary to each school district, but that is what we've kind of came up with as a district to. And then a year from now, the state law changes and says that you vote if you want a cell to cell or bell to bell. Right now we have to have one, so this is just one proposal. If you have any questions about what it looks like, Ms. Ellis did a lot of work on that and came up with.
It was very straightforward.
Yeah. I thought it was
So-
very much more,
Yeah.
Ms. Ellis
condensed
gets that
concern.
credit, so.
I think the test exemption is a good add in there to,
Well,
that-
incentive.
yeah.
I
I
make a
think it's gonna
motion.
make,
Go ahead.
in-school placement, ineligible for activities if they're in school?
No,
They are not?
they don't go practice.
Huh?
They don't get to go to practice. but
That's a,
They don't get to, if there's a game, they still get to play the game.
oh, so they, okay.
Yeah.
Kinda weird.
So they can play at night, but they can't go to practice during the hour. Okay.
Okay.
I'd make a motion to approve the violation policy and consequences for the use of personal electronic devices.
Second?
Voting is now open. Mr. Richard Wilhour,
Yes.
Mr. Clint Russell,
Yes.
Ms. Kelly Kappas,
Yes.
Dr. Jason Cook.
Yes.
Okay, discussion and vote to approve or disapprove the sanctioning of Inola Elementary PTO.
Just what we've done every year.
Yeah.
Make a motion to approve agenda item 16.
Second?
Voting is now open. Mr. Richard Wilhour,
Yes.
Mr. Clint Russell,
Yes.
Ms. Kelly Kappas,
Abstain.
Dr. Jason Cook.
Yes.
Discussion and vote to approve or disapprove the sanctioning of Inola Middle School PTO.
They've started this a couple of years ago. The PTO's been going forever, elementary, but they started at middle school, and it's been very beneficial to. It's both. Okay, it is both. So when we make a motion that we need to add and high school, I didn't realize it was both. So it's great.
I make a motion to approve the sanctioning of the Inola Middle School and High School PTO.
Second.
Voting is now open. Mr. Richard Wilhauer,
Yes.
Mr. Clint Russell,
Yes.
Ms. Kelly Kappas,
Abstain?
Dr. Jason Cook.
Yes.
Discussion and vote to approve or disapprove the activity fund changes for school year 25-26. One, close account number 911, class of 2025, and transfer the ending balance to account number 913. I guess that's graduating class 26.
It's just a fund for all graduating
graduate.
classes, just a kind of a, no.
Gotcha,
Yep.
okay. And then open account number 911, class of 2030, transfer $1,975 to boys baseball 801 slash 806 from athletic concession 801/814 for gym cleanup. And item 4 is open account number 802/824 boys soccer booster club.
So the first one, the class 25, any money that is left over goes into this graduated class fund. The second one, believe it or not, we are opening classes 2030, seems like that's our next class that we've opened up an account for. The baseball team cleaned up the gym after ball games, and so that for a fee, instead of paying somebody, they pay the baseball team. So that is from the athletic concession into their account for gym cleanup. And then last,
And then actually, it shouldn't be boys, it should just be, it's gonna be just the soccer booster club, it'll be for all the soccer.
all soccer.
Yeah.
Okay, we approved that at our last meeting to have a soccer booster account. So those were those 4 are.
Make a motion to approve agenda item 18.
Second?
Voting is now open. Mr. Richard Wilhauer,
Yes.
Mr. Clint Russell,
Yes.
Ms. Kelly Kappas,
Yes.
Dr. Jason Cook.
Yes.
And your motion was to approve agenda item 18, striking boys from boys soccer booster club, correct?
Adding a girls boys
Yeah.
soccer booster club.
Yep, okay. 19, discussion and vote to approve or disapprove of the high school volleyball team going to Branson, Missouri for team camp, leaving July the 7th at 6 and returning July the 10th at 6 p.m.
Make a motion to approve agenda item 19.
Second.
Voting is now open. Mr. Richard Wilhauer,
Yes.
Mr. Clint Russell,
Yes.
Ms. Kelly Kappas,
Yes.
Dr. Jason Cook.
Yes.
Discussion and vote to approve or disapprove the high school football going to Emporia, Kansas for team camp, leaving the morning of July, I believe you said 17th?
That's
This
correct.
This is 18th.
17.
And returning evening of July 18th, 2025, so one night.
No, it's still same day, 17th, 17th. They're
Gotcha.
both.
Just
So one day
leaving the
deal.
state.
One day deal, okay.
Yep.
Make a motion to approve as read.
Second?
Voting is now open. Mr. Richard Wilhauer,
Yes.
Mr. Clint Russell,
Yes.
Ms. Kelly Kappas,
Yes.
Dr. Jason Cook.
Yes.
Okay, convene or not convene into executive session.
Make a motion not to convene into executive session.
Second.
Okay, voting is now open. Mr. Richard Wilhauer,
Yes.
Mr. Clint Russell,
Yes.
Ms. Kelly Kappas,
Yes.
Dr. Jason Cook.
Yes.
Okay. Motion to approve or disapprove employment of Rebecca Kessler, elementary secretary for school year 25-26. Allie Bynum, elementary para for school year 25-26. Susan Havens, elementary RSA para for school year 25-26. Lindsay Swope, elementary librarian on a temporary contract for school year 25-26. Colby Crane, middle school, high school assistant band director on a temporary contract for school year 25-26. Tallery Briggs, middle school teacher on a temporary contract for school year 25-26. Bart Hill, lay coach for school year 25-26. Forrest Switzer, middle school teacher on a temporary contract for school year 25-26. And Deb Marcotte, high school teacher on a temporary contract for school year 25-26.
I'll make a motion to approve agenda item 23A through I.
Second.
Okay, voting is now open. Mr. Richard Wilhauer,
Yes.
Mr. Clint Russell,
Yes.
Ms. Kelly Kappas,
Abstain?
Dr. Jason Cook.
Yes.
Any new business?
I do have a couple of things. within the last 48 hours, these things have presented themselves, and one, it's not not a voted item, but we are looking into potentially, and I use the word conversion, in addition to what we have on our bus fleet, incorporating, I guess is a better word, CNG, because of the reduced price. There is a grant out there that we're able to get that allows us to incorporate the use of CNG. It gives us the filling stations, it gives us all the equipment, everything, but instead of running fully on diesel, it's a mixture, a 60% diesel or CNG, 40% diesel, which with CNG being cheaper, it would reduce down about 60% of our fuel cost. Last year, our fuel cost was about $66,000. If we were to save 60% of that, of course, that's all based on the price of those things. Got a lot of things still to ask, but that they came by just 2 days ago, and I wanted to throw that out. So we will continue to have a little bit of discussion on that, or if you have a thought, feel free to give me some input on that. But it would just basically be a fee or a potential savings. I've talked with Nick at the bus barn, and to this point he's in favor. There's 60 some odd schools across Oklahoma that are doing it, and the ones that have done it so far, I've yet to reach a superintendent that's not 100% in favor of it, but doesn't necessarily mean that it fits us. The ones around here, Berry Hill and Jinx, have converted over this summer, and so it started out west and it has made itself over here. We would be the first in Rogers County, but Jinx and Berry Hill have done it. And then the last thing, and I hate to spring things on to you at the last minute, but I literally got this morning. Our RAO, our regional accreditation officer, after we talked to some things, literally changed his mind in the middle of it, and we have to fill out this, what they call a dereg or a waiver for our library at the elementary. With Miss Swope coming on board, she finishes her stuff, and we talked to them about how to do that. He told us one thing. He said, never mind, fill this form out, but it does have to be, and Wendy will have to sign it, because in the second or third page certifies that the application was approved by our local Board of Education meeting today. So the reasons are, it asks 6 questions on the back 2 pages. Our response is that we posted it and Ms. Swope was the best candidate for the job. And it states that she will be finishing her certification up, and it also states that our library will be ran no differently this year. It will service the same amount of kids through her as it did in the previous. So if you got any questions, again, I apologize for giving this to you today, but this is when I got it. So if you got any questions, if you do want to wait, we can table it. It doesn't have to be approved. We will be able to start with her and have regular school. It just has to be approved by October 1st. But if we can get it done now, that'd be my suggestion.
I make a motion to approve the school site statutory waiver deregulation application for school year 25 and 26.
Second.
Voting is now open. Mr. Richard Wilhauer,
Yes.
Mr. Clint Russell,
Yes.
Ms. Kelly Pappas,
Yes.
Dr. Jason Cook.
Yes.
Okay, is that it?
That's it.
No more business? All right, we're adjourned.